wait for Mike to come, please. First question.
Roy, to start off with some really positive news, what's it been like to welcome the two Dundalk boys into the squad today?
No, it's been nice. They came in yesterday. They obviously didn't train today because they're doing a bit of recovery from their game. But it's nice to have them on board. I had a chat with them. Seem obviously decent lads. No doubt like getting over the disappointment of the weekend, but that's the nature of the game. They've done brilliant, and I think I said the other day they're in the squad on merit. They've really well the last couple of years, particularly in the European games, and it'd be nice to get a proper look at them tomorrow when they can join in properly.
You have had a few withdrawals. Just wanted to pick up on one, James McCarthy, because it does seem to have come after pressure from his club manager. Is that a decision not that you're happy with, that you accept?
We're disappointed that James is not here, but we knew he was struggling with the injury he had. He's obviously missed the last 1 or 2 games, missed some training, and he wasn't fit to report. So we're disappointed, just like Wardy and some of the other lads. And listen, we know players are under pressure from the clubs. Obviously, the clubs are looking after themselves. So we're disappointed James couldn't make it, but we'll survive.
Is there an issue generally, and I don't mean this with James specifically, but it's something that Jose Mourinho raised at the weekend, but the players have to be prepared to play through the pain?
Yeah, of course. I think that goes without saying. I think most players will be carrying knocks of some sort, but having said that, when a player's injured, he's injured. You know, as long as I've been involved with Ireland in the last few years, when I came in with the manager, I think we've been more than fair to the clubs and the players, and we're lucky we've got a decent group of players and the medical staff. I don't think we've never took any unnecessary risks with players, and we've had a number of players miss international matches because we've not risked them, and they've played a couple of days later for their clubs. But obviously from the club's point of view, they're always worried when the players go away to play international football. That's, like I've said, clubs are going to look after number one. But when players report for us with Ireland, I think we've been more than fair with the players and the clubs. We've many a time, as I said, we've let players go back to their clubs, and we've missed qualifying matches, and we're involved in their club a few days later. And sometimes you have to take that as well, because sometimes 2 or 3 days does make a difference to a player. That's why when we call players up, sometimes it might be the Monday or Tuesday, we have 2 or 3 days to play with before international matches. And as much as the clubs are saying they don't feel the players right, when they come over and we bounce it off them, and sometimes the players will have had that extra 2 or 3 days not training and I feel better. And I think again we never took any risk with players. I think the manager here has been more than fair to club managers, absolutely.
So given that, does it disappoint you when you hear Ronald Koeman saying things like, basically James McCarthy's picked up another injury because he's been overloaded by Ireland?
Well, yes and no. As I said, clubs are going to be selfish. They're going to want to look after their own players. I think we're lucky with the Everton lads. We've had a problem previously with Martinez. I think he was slightly over the top. Every time we felt the Everton players were turning up, and it's not criticism of the players. This is more from the Everton and their staff, that they're always carrying knocks, and I always felt the Everton players were going to turn up on crutches or crawling in the hotel door. I know it looks like we're probably going to have that issue again with Koeman. Hopefully not. Maybe Everton, I think, is a football club. I'm not sure when the last time they won a trophy. I think it was a good number of years ago. Maybe this overloading players and players playing lots of games is a good thing. That means your club's been successful and lads are playing week in, week out, playing midweek games. But Everton, they don't play any European football. I think they're over the League Cup. I think Norwich beat them at Goodison. So maybe Everton as a club need to, and it's a brilliant football club, maybe their players need to toughen up a little bit.
Is it important that relationship though between Everton and Ireland is a good one because you've got a couple of big players there?
No, not really, no. Why do we need a good relationship with Everton?
I've just presumed you...
No, listen, they're lucky that the Irish lads they've got there. And Everton traditionally have always had brilliant Irish players doing well for the football club, so they shouldn't be so quick to stop Irish players coming to play for Ireland. I've experienced that myself. And as I said, I can understand a little bit. If a player is fit to travel and feels he can play the game, particularly in a qualifying game, I think there's always a bit more understanding when there's friendlies going on. Then they should get their heads around that, because, for example, Seamus and James, particularly if you look at Seamus Coleman, what a player he's been for Everton. So why would they try and begrudge Ireland having these players available to us? Darren Gibson's Irish. Gibbo misses lots of games for Everton, a hell of a lot of games, and he seems to get injured a lot at Everton. So maybe they need to look at their own I suppose, training schedule. So Koeman's opinions, honestly, there's no issues with me. I couldn't care less, to be honest with you.
Well, Roy, did James himself decide that he wasn't fit for this game, or did the medical
I think he's obviously spoke with the medical staff and he spoke with the manager the last few days. I think the manager will give you more of a heads up when he speaks to you tomorrow, but he has obviously spoken to the manager. And it's hard for the players. And listen, it's not just about James McCarthy here. When there's players carry knocks, then the clubs will be reluctant to travel. I get that as well. I've been a club manager. But if a player thinks he can be fit for the international match, then sometimes you have to obviously listen to the player. But we've said it before, but if a player's injured, like James is, and Wardy and these boys, Christie, when you're injured, you're injured. But if you turn up and you think you've got a chance, then fair enough. So again, that's not just trying to listen about James McCarthy, because James has been under pressure a number of times when he's reported when he's carried knocks or he's been struggling. And he's turned up and he's gone out and done the business. Other times he's turned up and he's not been fit and he's gone back. That happens. And he's gone back and played a couple of days later for his Everton. So I'll go back to the point here with the medical staff here with Ireland. I don't think we could be any fairer to clubs, and I mean that. You know, the medical staff here are always looking out for what's right for the player. As much as sometimes we think, oh, listen, can we push them? And if anything, they go the other way. And rightly so, because obviously the medical people have got to look after the player's welfare. Where again, from a selfish point of view, we'd be saying, listen, is he fit or whatever? So it's not about James McCarthy. It's just, and it goes on with every country. Clubs will be. I've experienced that myself as a player. Managers will be reluctant for lads to go away if they're carrying knocks. That's the nature of the game we're in. It's nothing new, and it'll continue to happen.
And how are the rest of the squad in terms of knocks? So John Shea's joining up there.
Shays is coming in, I think, tonight. He's obviously making good progress. Okay, and obviously set up training today. I think he's feeling his groin a little bit. James McClean just feeling his back a little bit. He sat out today. Who else is there? Obviously, you know about Wardy and Cyrus. Is that it? I'm not sure. Is there anyone else missing? I think that's the latest, yeah.
Next question.
Roy, looking ahead to the game, the year that the Irish team have had and the start of the campaign has been a really positive year. Is it vital to finish the year on a high, especially with such a gap to the next game, to almost and end the season?
Well,
not necessarily, I don't mean like to win the game. I mean just to try and get there and get.
We want to keep the momentum going. We've said all along it's going to be tight with the groups, with Wales, Serbia, Austria, ourselves, and Georgia picking up 1 or 2 results. Yeah, of course. There's not a game for a number of months. Whatever this end of the year, we just want to keep picking up points, just try and qualify. We know it won't be easy. Obviously, we're on about injuries at Long and Murphy. They're big losses to us. But when we do get together, we find a bit of spirit and a bit of energy, and the players, generally speaking, keep going. So we need to be. I keep saying it. We need to be at our best to try and get a result. It's a tough game. They're a good team. We've got good players playing at a very good level. It'll be a tough game, but it'll be a tough game for them as well.
Roy, how big of a blow is losing Stephen Ward for this game? We've seen recently he's been very solid for both club and country, and he's kind of really come along. And does that force yourself and Martin to rethink that position? And I suppose it's a bonus as well, though, having Robbie Brady back to scoring.
Yeah, but every time we turn up for obviously international matches, this player's missing. And as you said, Wardy, I think it's unfair to say Wardy's been solid. I think he's been more than solid. I think he's been excellent for his club and for Ireland. And he is lost to us just as much as Murph and the other lads, and the loss of Robbie Keane the last year. That's the game we're in. Fortunately, we've obviously got 1 or 2 senior players back involved, the goalkeepers back involved, that helps. But yeah, Wardy's a loss to us, but we've got other options there. the obvious one being Robbie Brady, who has played there for us and done well. But we're always disappointed to lose players. But as the week goes on, you just get on with it. And you walk around. The strange thing is we end up talking a lot, even through the media, about the players who aren't here. We have to talk about and work on the players who are here and available and fit for Saturday. We've got, I suppose, the extra 1 or 2 days to get ready, whereas the last time some of our lads played on the Sunday, we went to a game on the Thursday night. So we've got the extra kind of 48 hours to play with. Lads who are carrying out, James or Kane, hopefully they'll settle down and we can get certainly a good couple of days training under our belt. Not that we can do loads of work, but at least we'll have lads out on the training pitch. But Wardy is a loss. I know he'd be frustrated because he doesn't like to miss any games. But he's got an injury, and again, going back to the conversation we had earlier, can't do anything about it. He's injured, and we just get on with it.
Right, there's an ongoing debate over in Britain about England and Scotland wearing poppy shirts, and Ireland have been caught up in that with the 1916 shirt. Just wondered what your view was on all that.
Well, I think as far as I can comment on it, I think there's because is there a charge or something? I can't comment until the charge is sorted out. But we, listen, as coaching staff and players, we focusing on the game and again let the FAI deal with that. Is that right?
That's right, Roy. We'll just say there is a charge which was brought last Friday, as you know, a disciplinary matter. We have until November the 17th to respond, and until after that point we won't be making any comment on it as we absorb this charge. Thank you.
Roy, just with James out, possibly Robbie Brady having to move with Stephen Ward out, Harry Arter, based on his current form, I'm sure yourself and Martin will have no problems throwing him in maybe to start on this weekend.
No, well, obviously Harry's had a frustrating time not from the club point of view. He's playing really well from international level. He's missed a few games with injuries. We're glad he's over. He's fit. He's seems to be in good run of form. He's playing week in, week out in the Premiership. So he certainly would be an option for us, and I think he'd be chomping at the bit to get involved. So yeah, it gives us a good option, absolutely. And we know if he starts on Saturday, he certainly has the quality to deal with the game because he's playing week in, week out in the Premiership. There wouldn't be a problem to it, and we'll see how that goes the next few days. But I'm sure he's thinking he's got a great chance of starting. But we've got some other good players as well, to be fair.
And just, do you think this could be a really pivotal game in the group as well, when you take into consideration if you get a positive result, a draw or a victory, it could also take out one of your opponents as well as gaining points?
Well, I'm not sure about that. Honestly, going back to first got involved in football, I look at every game as important. I really do. And this is up there with it. But we said that about the last couple of games. We'll be saying it when we report back into the new year. Every game's important, and this will be a good, tough game for us. Like I said earlier, they've got some really good players. Away from home is always difficult, international football. But our lads keep doing well, they keep producing results, and we need that to continue over the weekend. But again, we're looking forward to it. Should be a really good game, and a tough game for both teams.
Okay. Last question, please.
Well, you mentioned this group has been open very much from the start, but were you anyway surprised in the last round of results with Austria and Wales both dropping points?
No.
No, just with Georgia getting a draw and I suppose Serbia beating Austria?
Well, obviously I'm sick to my back teeth of telling you that Georgia are a decent team, and they've improved from the last campaign, which we found very difficult. They've had results before, in the last campaign beating Scotland, so when looking at the chances, they probably had a better chances against Wales. Obviously Austria have had some tough games so far in the group, so no, I'm not one bit surprised. I think the group is that tight. We're all going to drop points.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.